Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Artisan of Glimmith. So end of last episode I got area number to silver. What I thought I would do at this point is go back a bit and figure out where back a bit is and see if I can get some of the earlier regions to gold. Otherwise it's going to be a long way back when I do come to fill those in. So Gemini and Delta is at gold. Shape Bank is still at silver. Hang on, there's a puzzle lurking there. Yay! Oh, what an interesting shape. So 4, then 3 up, then 1 in, then 1 up, 1 in, 1 up. And this side, which, if I'm lucky, should mean that's also the same shape. No, it's not. What have I got wrong on that? 3 up. It's not that one, it's that one. Okay, this one that doesn't quite work. Okay, let's try those 4. And this side has to go down 3. That. Yes. Difficulty 2. I think that's the only way that bit can be sticking out. This is quite tricky to visualize some of these complex shapes. Okay, step up to 5. Easy shape, L. And I don't know which way that one goes. That has to go out there. That one has to be like that. Now bits can go a variety of directions. Okay, this one. If this is a separate piece, it has to go like that. But it could also be a piece like that, in which case this one can just join across. I can't actually tell this could go down like that, go up like that. This is a bit more constrained, I think. So we can join those two and take an L around the top. Or have an L going that way and an L going that way, but that runs into that. I think it has to be that. That one can in multiple ways again. Okay, back to here. I've got to fill that in. Nice. Level 4, level 4, B, level 7. Okay, let's take level 4. The second law of puzzling: whenever you find a pair of cells that cannot be connected, draw a border between them. There's a border. Well, one of these has to come into the corner. This can come out into a staple shape, a C. This one can continue onto here, or this could be a those cannot be connected, so that has to come down here. Forces that to come down here, but I don't know if it finishes down there or not. Don't know if that one finishes. "13 cells. Which I can take 2 or even 4 out. By making staples, that would work, I think. So if I do that and that for both of those two, and then I can do that and that and that and that, and finish it off that way. I need 3 more for this region. It's across a break in the ground, so it's a different region. 5. All regions must be one of these shapes. Oh dear. So I've got to get both of these in, and that means they have to be joined because there's no room for two different shapes side by side. Doesn't mean that I know how it continues upwards. One of them continues upwards. That one's going to be easier, but who knows. Okay, this one. This has to join to one side or the other, but it can go a variety of ways. These cannot be joined. Right. That cannot continue, so that one has to go up there, which completes that shape. That has to continue out. And I can't do a line of 3 along here, so that means I've put a corner piece in there and finish that one off like that. That has to come out, and then it has to come down. It could continue to here, it can't continue to there. Continues to here, then no way of filling that one in. I think that finishes there. These two are going to have to be joined. But they could come down either side. "23 cells left to be made up from a 5, a 4, a 3, and some bits of this, and possibly that one. It joins to either that or that. That can't come down there. If that S that way, then, oh, I've got to put that in. Okay, I messed up on that space. There isn't a way to fill this bit in. What I've got is that I could do that. No, that still has the same issue. There's definitely a line across there. Means it's definitely a bit comes out like that. Why did I? That has to go there, but it could extend. Yeah, it's difficulty 5. Let's see. Okay, start again from scratch, I think. So, what I worked out was that those all have to be forced. And somehow I have to get this and this have to be in the same space. Which completes that shape. Forces a piece around the corner there. Right, that one can extend. This one could go down here, but that would then leave a very awkward bit to complete. If I block that line off, then filling this without leaving stuff on here is going to be next to impossible. I think the only way that entire section fills in is probably that, because putting a corner that way gives me 2 that can't complete. That has to be the W. Okay, those 2 have to join and come down one or other. This has to go like that though, so that has to go like that. This has to come out. It can still extend down. I think that probably has to. This comes around here, that comes around there. Or does it? That could come down like that, but then this one is messed up. Whew. Okay, definitely a bit harder. 6. Well, let's do the 4. Yeah. Complicated shapes. Okay, so we have 4 up and 3 across. Okay, 5 up total, with 2 extra sticking out, or 5 up and 2 sticking out. The middle. So the 2 sticking out then have to go around one corner or the other. And one of these two corners is going to have, I think, two sticking up there. Now, there's an obvious problem with that. Or it can go up. No. Okay, too much attempting to go by feel, but oh, hang on, actually, I did it that way, and it still works. Wow, I think I was very, very lucky with that. Six and then seven. That's part of a 2x2, that's part of a 2x2. And that's part of a 3x3. There's a 2x2 and a 3x3 in these corners, so one of them comes out, the other one doesn't. That could be either. That could be either. Again, one of these is a 3x3 and I don't know which. Whichever it is, those are lines. So apart from telling me I can't put a 3x3 in there, I'm not sure. So 2, 2, 3, 2. 3, 3, 3. So there's either 3 3s and 1 2, or 1 3 and lots of 2s. I can't fit the 3x3 in here, so that has to be down at that level. Now it could be 2 by 2, 2 by 2, and this could be 2 by 2 coming out the side. That has to be 2 by 2 and it's completed. That now has to be the 3 by 3. That can still be 3 by 3. We can get multiple 2 by 2s in there. That no. Forces this to extend down this way. Just hoping I've got the logic right so far. And that only spits one way. Okay, a little bit tricky to get going, but that was nicely forced once I'd got the start. Shape bank, gold. So there are more puzzles in the region than are actually required. Difficulty 7 is the highest in the game. These puzzles are diabolically tough. We recommend saving them until you've completed most of the game. You'll learn subtle tricks to help overcome them. Okay, let's give it a go. That has to be an L. That has to be an L. If it goes that way, then we can't fill this in. This has to be a T. That has to go like that. That has to be a T. The L goes down that way. This one now has to be an L, but I don't know which way. That has to be an L that way. That could be a T or an L. Either way it does that. This could be a T or an L, but it does that. This has to be an L going that way. And there's going to be an L coming around this corner. Take those out. Ooh. That can't go that way. Which is kind of unfortunate. Okay, what did I do wrong around this area? Yeah, so that can be a T. There's supposed to be an L coming along. So this could be a T with an L going up there. This can't be an L going that way. It can be a T and an L. Or I can take one space off, make that a T, and this an L coming along. This one has to be an L coming one way or the other. Okay, let's start again, going very slowly. Those are all given. That's an L one way or the other. These shapes are either an L coming through or two T's facing. Yeah. If this is an L coming down, let's just sketch it out. That was an L and that was an L. Then we're left with a T and an L. And that would force this into being an L. And we run into the problem that I got stuck with before, which is these bits here. This was a T, facing another T. Then we'd need an L and a T. Hang on, no, that would be an L and it would break. So this was an L and that was an L. And this one breaks. Either put down for 2, you can't, because then we can't put anything in that. Or it goes down for 1, and we can put an L in. Or it goes down for none, and we get an L that way and an L that way. So if this comes down for 1, with an L, and those 4, it doesn't come down. Whatever there is, there's definitely something around there. Which means these two have to be joined somehow. And the only way of joining them is an L shape like that. Forces an L shape like that. Yeah. I think that is all forced. That can't come down as an L, so it has to be a T. This now has to be an L coming like that. That goes to there. This is going to be an L one way or the other. Means that has to go like that, and like that. That has to be like that. This is a T going left or right. This is either an, well, it goes up one, whatever. Can go up another, but then there's no way of filling these in. So it has to be a T. That has to be an L. That has to be a T. Yay! Solve a difficulty 7 puzzle. And I think, unless there's any other hidden ones that I haven't spotted, shape bank 2323 plus 1. Yay! Precision. Where's the precision window? (21 of 35). That's quite a lot. Polyomino. So that one needs 14. That one needs 11. This one needs fewer because I did some of them beyond the silver. So let's go back into Mingle Shape for a bit. 3, 5, 4, 2. Difficulty 2. Neighbouring shapes must be different. Those two have to be connected. And we have to have corner piece. And then we have to have a cross next to it. That doesn't work. I'm just wary that that is impossible because then that cell would have no fill. It has to be that. And then I can put another cross in there. Elbow there. River. One there. Two more. There's a 4 and a 6. 4 and a 3. Neighbouring regions must have different shapes. That forces that. This either goes like that in there, or like that in there. Interesting. Ooh. So if this went down like that, then that one breaks. It has to go like that. Of course, I can have other shapes that aren't part of the prescribed polyominoes. I think that is now forced. And that is forced. That can't come up to the third row, so it has to be flat. Oh dear, it was all going so well. So if that was at the bottom, then this one is now blocked. There isn't, there definitely isn't another orientation for the S. It has to be that way. Which forces this to be that way. Which forces this to be that way. If I take this L down, then this one cannot get anywhere. And if I take it off the side, then it runs into that. Take it down here. This one could join onto that. Then this one. Right, let's start this again. Only difficulty 3, how hard can it be? That cannot go any other orientation. This, yeah, those are definitely the only ways they can go that don't leave those touching. Okay. I mean, that's an orientation I would quite like, but it blocks those off. It doesn't work. That's possible. Only it now blocks that one in the T-piece. This has to go, I think, this way, or it could go that way. If it goes this way, then this could be vertical, that could be horizontal. I wish I didn't have that space there. So then I could take this one down like that, and these would fit up nicely in the top. So I keep looking at this and thinking, is there really no other way I can put it? I don't think there is. Oh, I didn't spot that before. Right, so I just got too hung up on the two fours as either being horizontal and together or vertical and separate. Actually, they're horizontal and separate. Well, they're one of each. Let's see, 4 or 4. Let's take. Let's soft with the other window, so let's take that 4. 1s, 2s, and 3s. So I need 2 and a 3. I can't take a 3 out that way, so it's going to have to be a 3 that way and a 2 there. That 3 can't go up. I need a 2 there. I need a 3 there. Make that green so it's a bit more obvious. These 2's can't run into each other, so that one is a 1. That's a 2. That's a 2. Right, that 2 has to go either horizontally or vertically. This 3, I think, has to go that way because it can't run into this one. I need a 2 down there. Those 2's have to come out. That's not a 2, it's not a 1. Well, that's now currently, that's forced. Which means that's forced to be a 1. But that must be part of 3 because an extra 1 and a 2. So something has gone wrong. Hey ho. Let's just start again. That is not a 1, so it runs into the 3, so it has to turn. So those 1s are all quite definitely forced. These 2's have to come out. There's no other way to do that corner. This 3 cannot go either of those 2 directions. Doesn't have to go back into the corner, which may be where I got things wrong before. If that's not a 1, well, this 2 cannot go down, or that. Right, this 2 goes either up or across. That means this is either a 1 or a 3. it's a 1, I can put another 2 in there, which is useful because some part of this 3 has to come down to here, so I have to have a 2 along here, I think. That's a 2. That's a 3. Okay, so that throws in that corner. So that has to be a 2. That's going to have to be a 3. That's a 2. Ooh. Okay, beef balls. Okay, let's see. 4. Right. That cannot be a 2 by 2. A 2 by 1. It goes there. That goes there. That goes there. That is either a corner or a single piece or something more complicated. Could continue on. This cannot come up, so it has to come down. So that's a single. This has to go horizontally. That can still continue elsewhere. That cannot go in. And that can't be singles because then I'm left to 2 by 1. This cannot go that way or that way. And that's forced down. That can't go up, or we get a problem in the corner. Make it stay big. This comes out, and this one is blocked, so this has to come down. Once that comes out, and that's forced up, and that's forced across. Four hiding inside the house. Ooh, it's quite tricky. 4, 5, or 6. Oh, that, I'm going to say that has to go that way, but it doesn't. It could actually just go straight out to the edge. So this cannot go this way round because this is now unfillable. Could go that way round, or could go that way round. So that is actually forced with one of the two sides. So that is part of the P, and it's going to have to go that way. That can't be the base of the P, so it has to be a T. That's not a T or a P. It's the 6-piece shape, but it could... Okay, I've got to figure out where this one goes. So could go something like that, in which case this is forced to go up this way. And this would have to be another P. And that is now blocked because it's adjacent to all three different shapes. This cannot be that, because then I can't fill in this corner. Can't be flat on its back, because it's all blocked. I think it has to be that. Okay, so the one which I didn't try on this was putting a P in here. But then this one cannot be that. Okay, this could go that way. That makes a lot more sense. And now can either put a T or a triangle in here. And that's a P and has become forced into that orientation. This has to be another one of these. That has to be a T-piece. This cannot be sitting flat across here, so it has to go up that way. That has to be T. And that works. Okay, still need 3 and they're getting to be quite hard. Okay, I will do, I think, one more and then stop. Because I hope I'll do one more. 3 and 3. They can both be vertical. If this one's horizontal, then this one is horizontal. This one is vertical. This one's vertical. And whatever it is, it runs into this one being horizontal or vertical. This is horizontal, so it has to go there. It could go either side. And this one has to be horizontal. Again, I don't know where it goes. Right. This must be a 2. That's going to be D3. It's going to be a 2. Probably could be a 1 and a 2 sticking out. Okay, I'm not certain of the logic I followed there, but it seemed to be the correct way to go. Just, I couldn't tell you what exactly prevented it being anything else. But I think that's enough for a full episode. So next time I will finish off getting this one to gold with 2 puzzles, and that's probably from the area behind. Thank you very much for watching. Please hit subscribe if you want to see when these videos come out. Press like if you enjoyed the video, and do leave a comment. And I'll see you next time. Bye.